Hey ladies, I wanted to make a quick little video that would show you a whole bunch of different replication methods, tips and tricks for the different types of nails that are out there. We all know that the application video works for about 90% of people, but some of us have some unique challenges with our nails. And I'm hoping that this video might address some of those challenges so that you can learn to love your wraps sooner instead of having to go through 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8 different application trials until you nail down the right one, pardon the pun. I have here on my nail 2 coats of the Serenity gel, and I am going to now do a quick removal with our gel remover pocket. Now, some of you have said before that you put the pockets on and you're sitting there for 10 and 20 minutes or longer before the gel flakes off. One quick little tip to cut down that removal time: take a nail clipper and clip off the end of your nail. As you know, when you apply the gel, you cap the ends. So if you clip or file off the ends before you put that removal packet on, the acetone gets under there much quicker and it will flake off faster. So I'm going to do that now, and the magic of video editing will show you what it looks like in just a few minutes. So you can see that the packet is on my nail. I've just kind of squished it around there using the tape, and I'm now going to let it sit there probably for about 5 or 6 minutes. I'm kind of impatient, but I've had some really good luck with clipping off the tips of my nail to get that gel off. So let's see how that works. Okay, so I've had the packet on for a total of 6 minutes, and we're going to take it off and see if it's ready now. And look at that. See how it's flaked, dandruffy. And so I'm actually going to just use an orange stick and flake it off nice and gently like this. If you have to push really hard to get it off, you're going to damage the surface of your nail a little bit. So I would suggest that if you're having a hard time, you can put the packet back on for a few minutes. And that stuff I could probably pick off, but I don't want to hurt my nail. So see how, let's take a look at that. See how where I picked it left a little bit of a white? That's damage done by scraping it off. You shouldn't ever do that. So we're going to put it on for 2 more minutes. Okay, so it's been 2 more minutes. And so we're just going to take that off. I like to twist a little bit and see what we got. Oh, look at that. It came right off. Now look at that damage on the top there, and you saw me do that earlier. I was picking with my orange stick to try to get the gel off, and this is exactly what happens when you pick and it's not ready to come off. So ladies, be patient with your gel removal and your nails will always be fine. And I'll zoom in closely so that you can see, even though it's a little bit dry from the packet, I want you to see that the nail, oh, I can't seem to zoom it properly. There you go. It's a little bit dry, but generally the health is pretty good. Now I've been wearing Jamberry wraps for 2 full years, and I never have naked nails. And then gels, I probably do those about once a month, sometimes a little more, depending on what my mood is like. So you can use the white buffer block and you can buff just really lightly, but ladies, I really caution against buffing roughly because the top of your nail is hard for a reason. That's a protective layer and a protective coating that you really, really need for nail health. When you go to a salon to get your nails done, they file the surface of your nail a lot, and that's what damages your nails by removing that protective layer. And then you're in a salon and they put acrylics or gels or whatever chemicals they're putting on your nails. Because they remove that protective layer, that's now seeping into your nail, which causes all kinds of lovely things like fungus and gross and disgusting. So I'm going to put a little bit of cuticle oil on this, or I would normally put cuticle oil on this, but because I want to make a video showing you some different application tips, I'm going to leave it just the way it is. I use my index finger because, pardon the dryness there, and my thumb is chipped. It happens, ladies, and when your gel chips like this, it's because you didn't cap it properly. And so that's what I did. So there's my little confession. But the rest of them look pretty fantastic. as you can see. Now this nail, you'll see, is kind of curvy, and it's funny shaped. My index fingers always give me a lot of problems. I have a difficulty keeping wraps on my index fingers because of the curve there. And so some of you might have some similar problems, and you've looked online for some application tips and tricks. You might have seen the baggie method, and you might have seen pull and stretch, and you might have seen 1, 2, 3. So today I want to show you all of those. So here we have naked nail ready to apply a wrap. First thing that you're going to want to do is get a little cotton pad like this and put some nail prep on it. If nail prep is not available in your market, you can use alcohol. If you're doing this on little girls, use vinegar. It's safer for them and tastes much better, although still horrible, when they put it in their mouth. For people with insanely oil nail beds, you can use pure acetone as well. You'll know your nail bed is really oily if nothing sticks to it, including nail polish, and sometimes even people have gotten acrylic nails that pop off. That's because of an oily nail bed, often. So the nail prep will remove all of the oils from the surface of my nail, leaving it nice and ready for replication. So we might have a few little snags there. That's stuff that I'm going to file off afterwards. So I'm going to start off by picking a sample that fits. I want to keep the Serenity gel on, I think, for a couple more days. I might change my mind. So I'm going to choose the sample that best fits my nail, and this is going to be it. Cutting off just half of it, because I want to save half. I like to stretch things as much as I can. So I'm going to... I remove using the orange stick. You don't want to touch the sticky side with your hands, as you see in the video, because unfortunately that can take some of the sticky off and prevent it from sticking to your nail properly. So the 1, 2, 3 method that you've all heard about has to do with how you press it down onto your nail. The cold application method that you may have heard about or seen basically means you're putting the wrap on before you heat it. So you're going to stick that to your nail just lightly enough. I'm just going to touch the bottom there so that it sticks. And then I'm going to, it's cold now, see, so it's still up. And what I'm going to do, this is cold application or reverse warm, you may have heard it called, but we're going to do 1, 2, 3. Now 1, 2, 3 means applying it in 3 push downs or motions. So I'm going to apply the heat right here to the center of the nail only. So I'll hold my finger in front of the mini heater for 1, 2, 3 seconds, and then I'm just pushing up the middle like this, not the sides. And then I'm going to put the heater aiming right here for 1, 2, 3. Careful not to burn your fingers. And then I'm going to push from the middle down like this. And now I'm going to apply the heat right here for 1, 2, 3, and pushing from the middle down to the side. Now, what this is doing is kind of magical. I don't know or care why it works, actually. I just know that it does. So up the middle, down one side, then down one side, heating before you rub on each direction. Now see how curvy my nails are? Even the wrap does not seem to want to lay flat. But this 1, 2, 3 and reverse warm is helping a lot. So I trim off the excess before. I will now put the front, I'll put heat directly in front like this. So I'll hold my finger directly in front of the heater for 1, 2, 3. And then I'm just going to smoosh it down over that edge. And I use my fingers. It's just so much easier. You can use the purple cuticle pusher, but I mean, if you're doing it on your own hands, don't be afraid to apply that pressure. And so now you can see that the wrap has completely curled to the curve of my nail. When you look on the side, there's that little gap. And ladies, do not fear the gap. Now, I could have used a wrap that was just a smidge larger here, but you don't want much wider than that. You want that gap to show so that the wrap isn't touching your skin. If the wrap is touching your skin at all, as that skin absorbs water and moisture from hand washing, creams, shampoos, or whatever it is that you're doing, that water ultimately gets under the wrap and causes it to lift or bubble or pop off. The key to having the watertight, perfect application is to have a gap. Look at, even with my gels, don't fear the gap. So there's a little tiny sliver on either side. You can see it on that side as well. This also allows me to put cuticle oil on right after my application if I choose, without having to worry about oil getting under that wrap. Now we have our regular black nail files. Now ladies, I've been chatting for a few seconds on purpose. One, to give you some tips, but two, to let you know that when you apply the wrap, when you're done, don't file it immediately. You want that wrap to cool down. So don't file aggressively when you do this. So once the wrap is cool, just soft strokes with the nail file will take off the tip of that wrap. Don't pull, because that's how you create your snags. You can see that my file is well used. In this home, we do our nails all of the time. So when you have all of the wrap removed, you can do what's called the t-shirt test. And so imagine the surface of my hand was my t-shirt, so you would run your nail like this, and if you feel snags, you're not done. Now ladies, if you have not purchased the deluxe toolkit from Jamberry, you need to do that. At first I thought, it's a little pricey, and then I got it, and oh my goodness, game changer. I can't believe Jamberry keeps coming up with game changers, but they've done it again. This glass file, gently filing, make sure it's a downward motion no matter what, gently filing removes all of those snags, so that when you do the t-shirt test, there are none. So once I'm done, I'll hold it in front of the heat for 1, 2, 3, just on the tip. I'll push down with my thumbs again. And look at that, I've got a crazy curvy nail with gunk under it. You can see a little bit. But a very curvy nail and a wrap that has adhered to it beautifully. And so even though my wraps don't match now, I've got a perfect wrapplication using reverse warm 1, 2, 3 cold application. And so now I can put cuticle oil on it right away, and I'll be fine. Although I recommend, if you're kind of new to Jamberry, maybe wait 24 hours before you put some cuticle oil on, or until you know your application is perfect. Now, there's one more step that I wanted to show you guys. You might have heard of this. It's called the baggie method. If you have crazy curvy nails and you haven't tried 1, 2, 3 yet, although 1, 2, 3 will probably change your life and be enough. There's something called baggie method, because there are some people who have nails that are not just curved this way, but the curve is also huge this way, so it'll bubble up. Kind of picture a baseball, and try to take a piece of paper, like a flat piece of paper, and wrap it around a baseball. You'll see that it's impossible, because you're always going to have crinkles and creases. So the baggie method allows you to put Jamberry wraps on a baseball nail. Once you have the wrap on, use the 1, 2, 3 or the cold application or reverse warm, or whichever method you want. But when you're done, you're going to take a plastic bag. I love the IKEA bags, because they're really thick and they're really inexpensive. So you'll take a baggie, and doubled up, you will wrap it around your nail. And you're going to pull as tight as you can, so that that plastic baggie is firm on the tip of your nail and on the side. So imagine that you were trying to suffocate your nail. This is what you're doing. So you've got the baggie pulled really tight, and while it's pulled tight like that, you're going to hold it in front of the heat, wiggle that finger around inside the plastic baggie. It gets crazy hot. And so then when you take it off, what you have essentially done is shrink wrapped everything to your nail super tight. So if you had any lifting or any bubbles or any creases on your wrap for any reason, that baggie method will smooth them right out. So there you have it, a bunch of different ways to apply wraps, all in one video, lots of tips and tricks. If you have encountered an issue with your wraps and you can't get them on perfectly, comment below on the video and I'll be happy to get in touch with you. You can send me a message on Facebook or send me a message through here, and I will work with you to get you to where you love Jamberry as much as I do. Have a great day, ladies.